This little guy right here is the Trapper Tower from Tower Blitz. He has a spike trap that he lays down on the path, and enemies walk over it and they take damage. And as you upgrade him, you can switch so there's explosive mines instead of traps. He was released, if we scroll all the way down, around September 2021. The 17th of September 2021 is when this little guy was added to Tower Blitz. Now, this guy right here is the Trapper Tower from TDS. Now, you notice any similarities here? I noticed a couple. The Trapper Tower from TDS was added like a week ago, or 24th February 2024, basically like a week ago. And as you upgrade him, you go from spikes to landmines, and eventually a stunning trap. But we're gonna ignore that. We're just gonna look at the landmines and the spikes, because that is the exact same fucking thing that this guy has. Literally, it's identical. This is, I mean, I honestly kind of thought, I thought they were done with just blatantly plagiarizing things. You know, I thought the TDS team, they weren't gonna do that anymore. But I guess not. And this time, it's from Tower Blitz, which is a way smaller game. Like, Tower Blitz, I'll put the player numbers up on screen, like, when I am editing. It's gonna be, like 100 to 1 or something. Not many people play Tower Blitz, and they're just blatantly stealing from it. I mean, look at that. Like, how common of a thing can that be? The only real good difference is, I mean, first of all, how they look. He does look pretty different. I think it looks better for what it's worth, but it doesn't really matter. He has this thing, which is the spike trap, which stuns enemies. That is the only difference, okay? Like, these towers are shockingly similar. And in Tower Blitz, you have 2 different upgrade paths, so the explosive ones are part of a different upgrade path. But in TDS, instead, there's just 4 upgrades, and then you can switch between the 3 types of mines, which I think is cool, but it's also a reused concept from the Jester Tower. So basically, they took Jester, then plagiarized something from a different game, and made them have a terrible child who looks like this, and for some reason, his torso is floating 10 feet above his legs. Alright, wait, my cat is here. Make noise. Okay, get out of here. Alright, cat break over. Let's go back to the point. I mean, you could say, oh, this isn't the most tyrannous thing ever. You know, games on Roblox, especially tower defense games, tend to, you know, take inspiration from each other. And that makes sense. What I'm upset about is just how, like, obvious and blatant it is. I mean, this is sad. Like, there's literally a 0% chance this wasn't on purpose. They just saw this and were like, oh, that's cool. I want it. And Below Natural just Control-C and Control-V'd it, and now we have this. And they have such a long history of it, too. It's like, the original TDS, like, everything was from Tower Battles. Tower Battles is a game that's now way smaller than TDS. And they, TDS, now, they're still kind of stealing Tower Battles. They have, like, the Scout Sniper demo, I guess Freezer, kind of, Commander, DJ Booth, all those things are taken directly from, TB, Tower Battles. And, like, this is just what Below Natural does. I don't know why. It's really weird. And I don't know, like, did they think they could get away with it? Like, what? It's so weird to me. I just think it's funny how they didn't even change the name. It's still Trapper. Like, it's just so obvious. And what I think is even a little bit more concerning about this is that TDX, which is a game that now has kind of begun to rival TDS, not really, it's not a huge threat, but a little bit, they have started to rival them. They have a tower, it's called the Mine Layer, and it's not like directly stealing from Tower Blitz. I don't even know if they took inspiration. That's a pretty common idea for a tower. I mean, I'm not saying it's, like, insane that TDS added, like, a Trapper type tower. It's just so weird how direct it was. Like, how clearly copying they did. Because this tower, like, the Mine Layer, that's fine. I see no problem with this. You know, I mean, in my personal opinion, this is completely fine. I think it's actually a really cool tower. And, I think that part of the reason they may have chosen to add this tower is because TDX, a big rival to them, also added a Trapper tower. So like, oh, we gotta get on this. And a while ago, that there was a Doors X Tower Heroes event. They added a Trapper tower there, and that was like, I mean, they beat TDS in player numbers, I'm sure of it. So like, they felt threatened. Below Natural felt threatened, and he was like, oh, I better steal something from my game. Hope nobody will notice. But actually, check this out. Hold on. If we scroll down here, look at this. Trapper from TDS. It's the Trapper from TDS reference, which is a little bit sad, actually, because this came out like a year or 3 years, literally 3 years before the other one, which, and people are going to start thinking that, oh, Tower Blitz stole this from TDS because TDS just gets more players. It's honestly really sad. I mean, I don't have anything else to say. I just want to point this out because it's like, I mean, it's gross. It's really not, does not look good for the TDS team, you know, if there's people who are gonna point this kind of thing out. And my advice is do anything besides play either of these games and go outside.